Hello, baby gang says this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of In Stars in Time. I'm trying to remember always like exactly where we start off with. I think we got the mirror thing last time, right? We definitely did. We didn't get the door here, but I think up here is where the mirror is. So I think we were gonna head across to the other way, maybe, but we can anyway. There's no problem with that whatsoever. What was this? This is the with yeah, some from Frozen Time. Oh, that's earrings. Izo pointing at the dark earring with the same design as the person from before. Same earrings. We found them, the partner, and they only have one earring. We have to give them the earring and a note this so they can find each other. Oh my god, I can't believe we actually found them. Calm down, you two. Sorry, it's just so romantic. We're doing this. We're helping. Siffrin, the earring, please. Smiling, you give Mirabelle the earring. Isabeau, I have it. Wait, where should we put the note? Spear the note to their ear with the earring, maybe? That's pretty crazy. Note earring? Note earring? They make a note earring tell the frozen person where to meet their partner. I get a little emotional over here. Me too. I hope they'll find the note and get to meet. Considering how the note is attached to their ear, I think they'll notice. They look stupid. Looking stupid is nothing in the face of true love. Honestly, maybe. Honestly, you're gonna look stupid during love. Isabel, you're so right. Here's the thing, you know, again, like I said, that old meme, and I'm not gonna, this isn't the same thing. You know when people say there's always two dumb people saying exactly. In this case, it's always two freaking lovely people saying exactly. They're not dumb, they're lovely. Love wins. Interestingly enough, like when I was thinking about like putting on their ear, the only reason I was like kind of against it was because for a second there I forgot, like, you know, your ear is already pierced. You know what I mean? I was like, you can't just pierce their ear and then put a note on it. That's crazy. Like, you know, it's a piece of paper that you have to disinfect it and all this stuff. But no, they're obviously already like pierced and stuff. Pottery wheels, we know all about this stuff. An open book stained by his dirty hands. Over here is when we got the original no face at all. There's a box here. The box full of crafting materials and finished art materials, no light, including... Actually, now it's just the paper mache hands are gone. There's some tonic in there. You got the sweet tonics. You give them to Bonnie for safekeeping. Yeah, we got the tonics mirror. I'm glad we found out with the stuff with the earrings as well. And I do think it's a beautiful thing that they wanted to reunite them. We do not go this way. We know the way to go this time. We know the way to go this time, even though that way is beautiful. Key time. You insert the key into the keyhole. You open the door. We go this way. We should be fighting enemies as well, though. It's really surprising that they didn't even, like, notice us. Like, not one enemy wanted to fight us on the way here. Yeah, but it's a really beautiful thing. Not only about this game, about these characters in general. The idea of finding... let's see what we can do here. In a Wild Rocket. The idea of finding that partner for them. I think there's, like, a combination of things that goes into that, right? It's not just, like, doing it for somebody else. I know, like, they are doing it for somebody else. But it also, like, is a really nice consolation in this terrible situation, right? Is the fact that you can still, like, try and reunite people for when they do wake up. Also, at the same time, it gives us hope. It's like this idea that, well, they will wake up, and then at that point, they will be reunited, and they will help each other, right? You know what I mean? I feel like that's, like, a really... It's, like, multifaceted whenever they do something in this game, and not only does it play into the idea of the loop, the fact that we're able to do this time and give them an earring to bond people forever in that way, but again, it's also like they're, of course, doing it for other people. They care about other people. They're doing it for love. Of course, they love the idea of love. But also, it's a beacon of hope. It's a beacon of hope that we will get out of here and we will do something after this, and they will be able to reunite after this too. So that's going to make us feel better too. Here's the bedroom, right? That's my room. I wonder, will she say anything now that we already got these papers? Mirabelle's dresser, there's important papers inside. Okay, nothing this time around. Okay, let's get the bottles here anyway. Yeah. Let's get this as well. And we have the idea for making the bomb. Will we have to make the bomb at some point? Hopefully, like, we're able to find some stuff along the way to make the bomb, if that's actually, like, an important thing you have to do, right? I know we have to go, I think we have to go right as well. Is this one of those places that something was hidden as well? I'm just not sure, because I know... Oh, this is where we talk about the change stuff, right? Some vials, you pick them up. Pepper juice, and thyme juice, and ginger juice. Lovely. This is when we talked about the crafting, the change god and stuff like this. Where I had my original take about the stuff with the crafting and the body crafting stuff. And now I feel like I have a completely different take as well. Which, like, I think that's what's amazing about not only, as I said, about this game, but also this, like, having a community around you too, you know what I mean? Because while we changed our perspective going forward, especially with the stuff, like, we were going to change our perspective probably a little bit when it came to, or a lot of it, when it came to talking to Isabel about this stuff and the idea of change compared to when we talked to Mirabelle. But also, like, you know, talking to you guys about it, like, it's a good way of, like, you know, looking at having a different perspective as well. But it's really cool that you can go back and look at this stuff anyway if you wanted to at the same time. Like, the loop really, the loop is, like, really cool for seeing things that change, but I can imagine for people, like, as well, it's like, I get to, like, also relive stuff I've already seen. So if you didn't remember what it was, you could definitely, like, have a better memory of what it was in the end, I suppose. Yeah. And I enjoy the battles as well, I really do. And like I said, like, last time, and I stand by it, it's one of those things where, like, the battles are kind of like, it's like, oh, like, I have to do these again. But the consolation is that they're fun. You know what I mean? There's a feeling in my head where it's like, you might have to do these battles again. But because they're actually fun, it's not that painful. You know what I mean? It'd be bad if they were bad. If these battles sucked and they weren't fun to do, I would be in so much pain right now. I would genuinely be like, this is not fun, which would make sense, right? Yep. We will win. Give us a little boost on everything. The slowdown isn't, like, even with the slowdown, look what happens here. Like, you know, there's still, like, they still have, like, a lot of speed when it comes to doing their next move. Craft then as well. Pretty buffy friend. Draw Moon Shield with a super sparkle heal. I top you off, why not? Break, kaboom, come on. Do the scissor attack as well. Again, we won't even need the special move, but we might be able to get it. You know what I mean? We might be able to get it at this point. Someone pointed out that Siffrin no longer smiles in their portrait. And I think, like, what we talked about in the past, and obviously not exactly about them not smiling or anything, but, like, it kind of came true in a way. We talked about in this game, and we talked about it together, the idea that, like, right now, the situation is like you feel like you can run through a brick wall once you're looping and stuff, I guess, right? You feel like you can do anything. And we said this. I think you guys probably, like, thought about this as well. We all thought about this. Like, if you came back to life, your first instinct is like, man, I'm invincible. Holy hell! And you'd probably be really excited. The adrenaline would be pumping. But over time, when you see all this stuff happening, the brutality of these situations, the horror of dying over and over again, getting so close, but then, like, being dragged back into the original space. Having to see people die, get hurt, having to taste the victory and being drawn back again, you're eventually going to, you know, feel that awfulness about it, you know what I mean? It's very interesting, in my opinion, the way they did this. And I just genuinely think that, like, it's a very powerful game because while we're looping and we're feeling the effects of a loop mechanics-wise, okay, as well, we're then observing, like, what it's doing to a character at the same time, too. Which I find to be very interesting also at the same time. Like, we're playing as... And this is the same thing with Last Defense Academy in any game I play. Yes, 110%, I think that we all... You know, sometimes we put ourselves in Siffrin's shoes, right? And we go, I'm playing as Siffrin, I'm making decisions and choices as Siffrin and all this stuff. And 100% you will. And so you feel that weight of it too, because you're attached to these characters as Siffrin. But I think it's also what's good about, like, games too, is that I also look at this game and I go, I'm not Siffrin, so I can look at it from the outside perspective as well, if you get what I'm saying. Last Defense Academy is a perfect example of this as well, where I go, I make decisions as Takumi, so at times I feel like Takumi speaking to every character 100% when I make friends with someone or I'm talking to someone, I feel like Takumi, right? But then also at the exact same time, I then look at the stuff that Takumi's going through, and then I almost get like a separation of the character where I'm now feeling bad for the character I'm playing as, if that makes sense. So I can be like, I'm making all these decisions. These are my friends. These are my pals that I'm with. I love being around them. I love talking to them. I love making decisions in this game. And then I also take myself out of that equation, and I go, holy hell, this character Siffrin has to go through so much, you know? I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I sometimes just think I'm being confusing. But that's my feelings on it anyway. Turn up and we'll go for a bit of a hand gesture. This should just do it, right? Yeah. Freaking crazy critical move. And this was the right one. Now, unless it's somehow changed, but we know only random stuff changes, right? We know only random stuff changes. Isn't that the key we found in the classroom? If you didn't pick it up, Siffrin, wouldn't be super stuck without you? We'd have to loop. Yes. We got lucky. We sure did. There's a piece of paper stuck to the door. Can I see? Mirabelle is looking at the note intently. Are we going? Let's go, let's go. Yes, let's get going. So I wonder if we're going to have to fight. We are going to have to fight the king again, I think. But we're going to also trying to talk to him as well at the same time. So we need Rock. You know what, Rockadile? Love the name of this move. I think I'm going to make it an effort to top ourselves off more often. I don't think it would be a terrible idea, honestly. Hope you guys are enjoying this playthrough, by the way. Always happy to talk to you guys about stuff as well. So if you want to talk about the story, the characters... Oh, the bathroom over there. Isn't that a bathroom? Seems so. Bathroom. Bathroom. So you close the bathroom stall door like coming here because you know you'll be able to be alone for a bit, but you almost feel like going outside right away right now. Huh. Why? You feel weird. Even though you're stuck in this time loop and you don't know how to escape yet. You feel happy? Interesting. You feel happy. Why do you feel happy? Is it because you're helping everyone right now? Hearing them out, helping them with their problems? Oh, this has changed because someone said this would change. You talk to each of them. Learn more about them as people. Talked about things with them you've never talked about with anyone. It was embarrassing a bit, but it made you feel warm. It was nice. It's interesting we're having a retrospective moment now as well, right? That, like, even with this time loop, there's a happiness there that we are helping people. Even with all this horrible stuff there's like a tinge of like something there that makes us feel happy. Even though you're not friends. Don't think of it like that though. I know that it was from over time. I believe that like it was it something Odile said about being allies that changed this perspective? And it changed their expression, changed the way they talked about stuff, it changed the way they said from friends to allies. But I see you guys as friends, but that's how you become closer to people, right? 100%. You're not friends after all that. You know what I mean? By helping them out. I mean, it doesn't always have to be like a thing like that where you help each other out. Like it's always about, oh, you have to help me out to make friends or whatever like that. But like it can show a sign of like care sometimes. So maybe right now they like you better than in previous loops because you've helped them. Oh, this is actually like very interesting to think about. Right? I'm better off than in previous loops because I help people. Do they like me better than in previous loops? That means they liked me less in previous loops. Because then that would make me think about how I was perceived in other loops. Now that I'm like seen as very helpful, people thanked me, they had a nice picnic together. I'd be looking back then to the other loops where I'm like, man, did they think I was like really distant and bad and not helpful? We know for a fact that in other loops they thought we weren't doing our job properly. At least in a joking way. It's crazy the perspective that this game can give you, right? And, okay, this will sound silly, but maybe that's all you need to break the loop? That's stupid. You're stupid. Don't even think about it or it won't come true. Oh my God. This is a mental health aspect here. 110%. Nearly, I feel very sad right now. Knowing that feeling creeps up into your throat when it feels like you're going to cry, that type of feeling. But I believe, and I could be, I don't want to diagnose anyone or anything like that, so I'm not going to do it, but I believe this is a part of like a mental health thing where you think that if you are too happy in a moment, or if you believe that something good that is going to happen, then it won't happen. And people don't think of that as a mental health thing, but it's the same type of thing when someone thinks like, if I don't, what's the most common one? I think the most common one is like, if I don't switch off the light 3 times, then I won't get this, then something bad will happen tomorrow. It's something that is more common than people think as well, but it is, a lot of it can be tied to like your mental health and a lot of different factors. And I genuinely think, and maybe you could say I'm reading too much into it, I genuinely think that it is like a mental health thing where, I think again, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm being insensitive, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's part of like OCD stuff as well, right? Where, and OCD is many different facets, right? It can be something like very like people don't get how bad that can get. It can get very bad. A lot of people who like talk about OCD like in a very casual way don't even know how bad it can get. But I think it is a part of like mental health to be like, don't think, and you could say it's just a casual throwaway line, but I do think that like to call it, you're stupid, stop it, you're stupid. Don't think about it, won't come true. They think they're breaking the loop now, and they think that if they think about breaking the loop, it's not going to break. If you get what I'm saying? It's like, I can't think, it's like, tomorrow, I know tomorrow that my friend's going to text me for my birthday. Shut up. No. If you say no, they're not going to text you. You know, that kind of way. That type of stuff is like, very much like a lot of like external factors affecting your internal thought process, I feel like. You smack the side of your head, focusing on holy hell. Wow. Yep. Again, you could say it as a throwaway thing where people do that in movies all the time, where they slap their face or they like kind of get back into the zone or whatever. And things like this. And again, I want to be able to, and you guys can help me with this stuff too, because again, I'm not like a mental health expert. I'm not, but you can always like navigate it with me if you want as well, and stuff like that. But what is happening here is Siffrin is thinking about something good that could happen in their life. And instead of just embracing this thought of like hopefulness, they are afraid to embrace the hopefulness because they're worried that will lead to more despair. Like they don't deserve to be happy in some way. And if they think about stuff being too happy, that means it's not going to come true. And to avoid thinking about happy thoughts that could lead to something happy in the future, they smack themselves on the side of the head. So then the thought process then goes to the pain on my cheek. Now, the reason why this is, first of all, you can hurt yourself. Of course you can. If you're in this thought process, of course it's difficult, but always like try to get like some like help with this and like some consultation, please, if you can. 100%. But this is to me, this is very sad to hear, right? It is. Because it's not just smacking yourself into reality. It's trying to change your focus on reality and change your hopefulness and change your thought process because you don't want to think a hopeful thought. Stay focused. Stop thinking about the best case scenario. Look at this. Stop thinking about your allies. Stop thinking about how you don't see you as friends or anything. Stop thinking. Stop it. No, there's no way this is just throwaway for me. There's no way. Stop thinking about your allies, right? Don't think about the good things that you've done for them. Like, you're not even allowing yourself to think about those. Stop thinking about how they don't see you as a friend or anything. This is another thing as well. They're trying to block that out. It's like, don't think about them as it's like, it's trying to block that thought out. And then stop thinking. It is 100% a mental health thing for someone to not want themselves to even think, to not be involved in their own thought process, to be outside their own thought process. You might often hear someone say that they would rather be asleep or something than to have to think about all this stuff as well. You know what I mean? And it can range from like the smallest bout of anxiety to something like that is, slapping yourself in the face. You breathe slowly in and out, think about nothing. Think about nothing. Like it's not really like it's not nice, is it? It's not nice to have to like force yourself to think about nothing when there's so many beautiful things that could happen for you in the future. Very difficult to get through. You exit the bathroom. Wow. And just like in real life, you won't notice it all the time at first. But this does happen quite a bit, where a friend tries to compose themselves and you don't notice anything that's happening because they do it so much in private. And I think as humans, it's hard for us to pick up on stuff all the time, right? It is. Now, we can usually pick up on like, some things, as we've seen here, they don't like to be touched and all this stuff as well. But I think sometimes thought processes are hard to think about because unless they say it openly. Like there might be a time when Siffrin says to everybody, I don't want to think about this positively, can we stop? But because they're also so quiet, the combination of being quiet but also very internally tormented by their own thoughts means that they're not going to probably like talk about this as, or even like that quickly, Of course they're not. Very difficult situation to go through. Very real feeling to go through as well. And I do feel for Siffrin so much. 100%. I thought there'd be something in this room, but it's a crab and dead end. It's the actual Change God statue, though. Their face obscured, silhouette shrouded, their expression hidden. An intact statue of the Change God stands before you, and this is where we get the knife, right? Everyone is lost in thought, most likely sending their wishes to the Change God. Join them? We didn't. I want to still join them. You wish for the rest. You know what I mean? I do find it to be like, the choice would want to make. Siffrin, what are you holding there? A knife. Did the Change God give it to us? Huh? No, it can't. I think they did. With it we can... And then we get warped out of here. What the... That's floor 3 entrance? The Change God beamed us here. There. That's... Well, at least we don't have to backtrack. I'm going to ask questions. I'm not going to ask questions. Thank you, Change God, for this boon. Again, this is the first time that they've had something happen that feels like they've been answered. Their prayers have been answered. Thanks, Change God. Thank you. You know, do you look at each other and shrug? Thank you, Change God, or expressions of whichever deity gave us this knife. Thank you. And then we can save the game here as well. Yeah, very tough stuff going on for Siffrin as well. Generally is. It's tough navigating your own emotions, but then also having to perceive how everyone else feels about you as well is very difficult. It's already, the human mind is already so intricate and complicated, but then you also have to deal with like how that, not only see how you see yourself, but how you see other people and how they see you, what thoughts that you have, how bad can they get. It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. I was wondering, like the king clearly closed his door and put the tears in our way, but the locked doors weren't they? Oh, this is what they said last time. Yeah, we were wrong. They most likely locked by the residents of the house. When the house was attacked, no one knew what the king's power was, so they must have thought locking him in would have been enough to stop him. But by that time, he'd already made sure the Vagard would start slowly freezing in time. So people in the house were trying to save Vagard at the risk of their own lives, but it was all for nothing. It did get in our way more than anything else. But there's no way they could have known. Of course not. It was all love. You know what I mean? They tried, and yet the king. Let's get going, everyone. You get ready and slice the door. It's the thought that they tried and they failed, right? As we're about to attempt something as well. It puts that in your mind as well, right? All these people did so much, but still in the end, they weren't able to succeed as well as they hoped. Oh, this is a really cool enemy, isn't it? Unbelievably cool enemy. Yeah, this episode took a somber tone, but I think it's going to need to take somber tones, right? You might know from my playthroughs, and I think if you've watched other playthroughs, maybe some of you haven't watched other playthroughs. My whole thing, all the time when it comes to playthroughs, is that tones will change, stories will get darker and brighter, and I never like to fight the tone. You know what I mean? I never like to, like, you know, like, there's never a thought in my head of like, oh, I better make a joke here, I better, you know, do this here. If some of these episodes aren't uplifting, you know what I mean, or whatever, I know like people say they like the videos, and I'm thankful for that. It's because I don't fight the tone of a game. You know what I mean? I don't. We rest in the tone. We sit in the tone. Sometimes that can be very painful and hard to get through. But I feel like it's the way I like to appreciate games the most, is to have the adapt to the tone and not to the tone of the game, and not have the game not be angry that the game isn't adapting to my tone. If you get what I'm saying. Inner weakness there as well. We will win. And just to explain that, like you guys understand what I'm saying, but like anyone doesn't want to know what I'm saying. If a game, like, say for example, like if I'm playing Battle for Bikini Bottom, for example, you're gonna be in a different mood from when you play in Stars in Time. You're gonna feel differently. It's gonna feel different. And instead of, like, you know, being like, okay, like I don't like, you know, not what I'm saying, like this tone makes me feel bad, let's do this, wherever, like, I think it's much better to always just, like, you know, try to understand the tone and sit with it for a bit, and then you'll probably understand the game better. And I feel like in the long run, then understanding the characters, understanding the tone, understanding what the game is going for will make you more attached to the characters in the end, I feel like sometimes too. At least that's my perception of it anyway. We play all different types of games in this channel, and we have since forever. You know what I mean? And I just love being along for the ride with these games as well, you know? I love it. Perfect. Great damage done there as well, right? Leaving us not vulnerable to rock attacks. Really good damage there, I feel like, as well. Yeah, very good stuff. We could have saved Paper V there as well for ourselves, or Paper 5. In a while, Crocodile. You're coming with this, Izubo. Why you do that for, huh? Thank you, Bonnie. And as well, when I say, like, don't fight the tone of a game, I just mean that, like, you know, I love embracing all different genres of games if we can, and I think you guys feel the same about that too. Obviously, if a game isn't good, you say it isn't good, but that's different, right? Let's keep going. This is very nerve-wracking, the fact that we're heading up here now to another rest area. This is where the big conversation happened, where it wasn't with Mirabelle breaking down. I wonder if this is going to be skippable this time, though, or if something different will happen. Will we have a different choice to make during this conversation? Oh, yeah. Someone this far inside the house? This was the roommate. That's... Mirabelle slowly breathes in and out. That's my roommate, Claude. Oh, Mira. Ah. No, it's okay. I figured it'd be the case. If she was in the house, she'd be as close to the head housemaid as she could get. But you couldn't get to her in time, could you, Claude? Mirabelle, are you okay to continue on? Yes. Like I said, I was prepared for it. And we still have the king's butt to kick, so we can save everyone, don't we? Indeed we do. Let's go ahead and kick that crab king's butt. He would know what hit him. See, in some parts of this are not skipping, right? Some aspects of this are not letting us skip. And it's the rest area. In our safe room. Let's rest a bit, shall we? This must be our last chance to catch a breath. You quietly all look Mirabelle's way, trying to make sure she's alright. Will this be different somehow? Interesting. Hey, Mira, everything good? Oh, yes, I got a little fired up fighting the big sadness earlier, but I feel better now. I'm doing breathing exercises to stay calm. Yes, the famous Siffrin breathing exercises. Told you he wasn't going to do it for no reason. It had to help somehow. And now we know it's probably like a thought process for Siffrin as well, right? Thank you, Siffrin. And thank you for yesterday, too. Interesting. Did our conversations with everyone yesterday lead to a more calm demeanor for some of the characters? Wow. Wow. Amazing. So we have a whole different vibe here even. I don't think I'd be this calm if I hadn't talked. Huh? When you two spent some time together. Yes, we had a good talk. It helped me realize some things. Oh, I'm glad. Nothing like a good talk between friends to feel better. It seems you were hard at work yesterday, weren't you, Siffrin? Helping me out along with Bonnie, Madame, and Odile. And me. I suppose that's what friends are for, isn't it? Friends! To help with important things. Friends! Friends, yes, friends! Are you all friends? Yes! You traveled together, ate together, laughed together, so you thought it made you friends. But Odile says the same thing every time, doesn't she? Are we friends? Oh my god, asking the question outright. I didn't think this would happen. I really didn't think this would happen. So, hearing Odile say the word that we are friends. First of all, it's very difficult to think of yourself as friends even when someone says it, right? But I feel like Siffrin asking this question right now is because they need confirmation right now. Yes? But you said it once, didn't you, Odile? Huh? You remember, every time you stopped for a snack break on floor 1, she says, you said we weren't friends. It was a passing comment, wasn't it? You said we were allies, colleagues at best. Did I? Odile, how could you? I don't remember saying that, but sadly, that does something Odile would say. But she says it every time, every blinding time. Wait. I don't think we talked to them on floor 1. We didn't. When you stopped for a snack on the second floor, it was all different. Maybe it was different then too. I didn't talk to her on the first floor, I don't think. Allies? This is, oh my god, we're putting previous loops onto the current looped character. Well, that does sound like something I'd say, yes. I feel a lot of anxiety right now. I don't know if I consider you all friends per se. The 5 are just very different people with very different goals and thoughts. I might break down. This is such a, you know what I mean? It's, and I think it's intentionally so meant to be not only awkward, but like anxiety inducing, right? It's a very like, what are they going to say kind of situation. Our age difference makes it difficult for me to see you as friends. After all, why would an old lady be friends with a preteen? Oh, it's just strange. So no, to me, we aren't friends. The mere thought of it is absurd to me. Wow. Way to bring down the morale, madame. I feel like, I hope you understand how I'm feeling right now. I feel like crying. Right? And it's not because of like this sadness. I have the feeling in my throat, you know, when you're about to cry, not because I'm sad. I don't feel sad. Right? have you ever had those moments where it's like there's a conversation happening and like you feel like you want to get out of there? You know what I mean? And in this situation, it's like you don't know how people are going to react. It feels like a little bit of a time bomb, but again, it could turn out better than we hoped, hopefully. I'm not done. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. We could have turned out okay. I don't think we're friends, but... Oh, this game is going to kill me. This game is going to absolutely murder me, but I would do anything to protect all of you. Holy hell. Horrible things, to be honest, as long as I could be sure you were all safe. That is scarily beautiful. I think you'd all do the same for me. Yeah. For anyone in our little group. So... friends doesn't fit to me, but we're family, right? Jesus, dude, this game. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, we're family. Like me and Neil. We stay together. We eat together. We say good morning and good night. Family. I have a difficult relationship with that word, especially with their family background. Yes, family fits better, I think. Oh my god, even with their difficult family background, willing to call us family. Family. What a lovely word to describe a relationship to each other. I already thought of us like that, but it's kind of awkward to say it out loud, isn't it? It is a little bit, but we don't know what tomorrow or even the next few hours have in store. So while we're still together on this journey, we might as well say it. Wow, say the unsaid. Especially since Siffrin over there seemed to think I didn't care about him. Holy hell. We talked about the mental health aspects of all of this. And like one of the things that will happen in someone's head is that they will perceive themselves to be unlovable, or in some cases, just like in a lot of cases, perceive how other people perceive them in certain ways. One of the best, like, just a very example of this is like if someone like doesn't text you back or something, or someone doesn't, you see this all the time online. A lot of times it's not even a personal thing against you, but we see it as that sometimes, right? And people see it as that. A lot of times people see the smallest thing, and what's so interesting is that this was a passing joke. A comment that Odile made on the first floor 2 loops ago, right? Or not even 2 loops ago, like 20 loops ago. And Siffrin took it to heart. That they stopped even calling themselves a friend of Odile in their own mind even. They called them allies. It changed their perception on this whole group. And from Odile's perspective, Odile didn't. We don't know if Odile said this time around, right? Because we didn't have that conversation this time around. But that's what's so interesting. Well, we put another loop onto this loop's characters, which again, we have to understand it's different this time. Our relationship's different. Wow. And Odile picked up on this. And again, as we said, it's hard to pick up on this stuff all the time. But Odile in this moment, I feel definitely picked up on the idea of what Siffrin was thinking. 100%. You don't know how to react. All this time you were trying to keep in mind what she's... Jesus Christ. That you were just allies to each other. But this whole time, Siffrin was trying to not think about them as friends. We don't know if Odile said this time around, right? Because we didn't have that conversation this time around. But that's what's so interesting is that this was a passing joke. A comment that Odile made on the first floor 2 loops ago, right? Or not even 2 loops ago, like 20 loops ago. And Odile reaches over and ruffles her hair. Don't think so hard, Siffrin. Quite honestly, it doesn't seem to work out very well for you. So mean, madame. Siffrin's hat is all lopsided now. You look funny like this, Siffrin. You readjust your hat and hide your face. They all look at you smiling. I'm bored. Snack time. Oh my lord. We said a lot of what's happening here and what this is making the characters feel and what this could be making the characters feel. But I think it's such a nice gesture for Odile to just this one pat on the head and reassure Siffrin. And sometimes that's all that happens. Like, have you ever had that as well? Like, and we've all dealt with like some mental health stuff, and sometimes it will happen where you're so down on one situation, and then out of nowhere, someone shatters the glass, and you realize something you thought all along felt silly. You know what I mean? But it's hard not to think about it in that moment when you are feeling it. I'll start with the worst one. Leftover samosas from yesterday's dinner. They're the ones I burnt, but I thought I'd still keep them if we're super duper hungry. Don't be mean to the burnt samosas, they were delicious. They really were. They're not the worst of anything. Oh, Bonnie's little face could cheer up anything. Next one I have palmiers. This is one of the things, the pastries, right? They're yummy, they're crunchy, they get crumbs everywhere. Moving on. And this is what makes us excited, right? The malanga fritters. They're fried malanga with guramon. Malanga is some kind of root and guramon is some kind of pumpkin. Seems heavenly. So which one? So we didn't react in this way again, right? We didn't react in a way that was big this time. Isn't that interesting? Because last time we went crazy. I think obviously it's a different mood this time. Yeah, you're happy to find him again. I'm worried to eat anything that could kill me this time. After eating your snacks, everyone's health has been restored. As you eat, you look at everyone. They're smiling. Happy. Sometimes one of them seems sees you looking at them and smiles at you. In this moment, you are loved. Oh, jeez. Why is this game trying to murder me? And it's bittersweet because they're saying in this moment you were loved, right? In this one moment you were feeling loved. You know, I have a good feeling. We'll definitely kick the king's butt. How different is this from the breakdown last time even? It's so different. Kick the king's butt. Alright everyone, let's finish eating our snacks. We have a king's butt to kick, exactly. What a difference this time it makes, right? Holy hell. Look at Bonnie's face. Incredible stuff. We'll save the game here. It is 100%, as we said. It's these moments in our life that we and a lot of people go through some stuff on the more basic level. Some teams go through, but none of it's ever should be scoffed at. The anxiety you feel, the mental health issues you have. And it can sometimes breaking out of it, like Siffrin is not broken out of this completely, but sometimes realizing you are loved. Not everyone gets to do what Siffrin did here, which is like, and they probably were on autopilot as they did it. They just asked. I thought we weren't friends. And that can go many different ways. If you have someone less mature than Odile, we know that in life, that can go away where someone gets offended. You didn't think we were friends? But Odile handled that actually beautifully. Sorry for messing up your hair there. Please do it again. I know you don't usually like to be touched, but I think you need it this time, right? You stay silent and readjust your hat. If I can help in anything, Siffrin, just let me know. You and I are very private people, but we need to learn to open up every once in a while, don't you think? We're family, after all. Oh my god. I don't think I can. Siffrin being so honest here. Open up, you mean? Of course not. As I said, it's not a skill we're very good at. But know that it'll always be here if you decide to do so before we part ways. Oh. The gesture here of kindness of, you don't have to open up to me. I know it's hard, but knowing it's on the table is so important. I always say this in games, like, is making someone feel like they are loved. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing as inviting your friend to the party even though you know they're not going to come. You know what I mean? I know that Siffrin's not going to open up to me probably in that way, but to let them know that they can is a big deal. You know? The party example, by the way, it was used in another game as well, where it's like, well, why didn't you invite me to the party? Oh, you never come to these parties. I understand that can be frustrating, but like just letting them know that they're wanted, you know what I mean? That it can be a big thing. You don't say anything. So, Siffrin, buddy, do you want to talk? What about? Oh, okay. We're ignoring that whole thing. Sure, that's fine. We can do this if you want. We can also ignore how you're acting weird and how you stop smiling every time you think we're not looking. Whoa. Isabeau just saying this outright. I'll give you one last chance, though. Would you like to sit down and have a talkie talk? Don't say one last chads about what just happened. No. Nope. Okay. No problem. But when we're done and we've won, and we've eaten dinner tonight, haven't beaten the king, before we go our separate ways, we will have the feelings talkie talk. And again, this is Isabeau's way of being like, you can talk to me. You snort. Sure thing, Isa. You said sure. We're gonna have this talk. Got you. You're stuck now. You will be emotionally vulnerable. But you don't have another, don't you have another talk with Isabeau planned? We do. Only if we have that talk for, yeah, that one. The first talk. What's? Isabeau freezes in the middle of a sentence. Yes, that other talk. The one I said I would have with you last night at the clock tower after we went back. Yes, that talk. Yes. Uh-huh. 2 talks, Sif. 1 talk each. We can get through this. Isabeau gives you a shaky thumbs up. Smirking, you give one back. Throwing it right back. And that's like their friendship as well, though, right? And again, Isabeau doesn't mean anything bad by like, I will force you to talk. That's Isabeau's personality on display, trying to like, you know, do what's best for Siffrin in their own way. Would you perhaps accept a comb? Is your hair that bad? You nod and get your hand out to receive a comb. Ashley, would you perhaps allow me to... Oh my god, that'd be so cute. You nod? Oh, that's completely fine. I just thought I'd ask since... Well, you said yes to get your hair brushed? Oh my god, that's so cute. You nod again, slightly farther. You hear someone gasp and curse. What is that about? Quick, sit down in front of me. Do it. Hesitantly, you sit down and remove your hat. Mirabelle slowly and methodically starts combing your hair. Finally, I can repay the favor. You did my hair so... What? Siffrin did Mirabelle's hair? I'm so glad I get to brush your hair in return. I suppose you'd experience taking care of kinky hair too. Look, your hair is split everywhere. You should take better care of it. Such a shame. It's such a nice bright shade too. Will you dye your hair again? I think you should let it grow out. Light hair suits you so well. You can barely hear what she's saying. Getting your hair comb feels like it does. Oh my god, it does. It does. Whenever when I was like a teenager, maybe this is like I don't think it's TMI. It's just a fun story, but it's definitely not TMI. But I remember I had long hair, like I do now. I have long hair, and like all the girls in my friend group, like would like either plait my hair or like brush it and stuff, I guess. And it is like this like very therapeutic thing. It's like really interesting how it's just like, you know, it was like, this is kind of like a very, like, and it's also like a bonding experience as well, right? Like I will always remember sitting in a circle with all the gals there, talking to them, having a conversation as we're talking about all this like stuff. And like, while the hair stuff is like a very, it feels good, of course it does. Like, you know, it feels good someone like, you know, focusing attention on your hair and stuff, gets 100%. But it's also a thing as well where like, it's a moment where like two people are like, you know, in a way, in my opinion, connected and can like talk to each other and, you know, be close to each other while also focusing on something else. You can feel your tension and Mirabelle's fate as she's taking care of you. Oh my god. Mirabelle chatters off for a few minutes and you listen until all good. You're all ready for the king now. Yes, we do have to be beautiful to appear in front of him. We do, madame. Gotta appear fierce. Of course. Mirabelle smiles at you. What a beautiful sequence there. And I'll stand by it, like 100%. Those moments I'll treasure forever. I remember someone did like a French plait in my hair one time and it took a while. You know what I mean? And I remember just like, again, I never forget that moment. Every time I see that person, we still talk about it, you know? I remember you did the French plait in my hair or whatever and during that summer, and it's like, oh, those were really nice times, you know what I mean? What is it? Are you still hungry? Here, have some more Malaga fritters. Bonnie fills her cupped hands with fritters. Eat them, Kay. You look weird. I think you're out of calories. Calories? I think you're out of calories. I love the correction for Bonnie here as well. You eat the fritters. Tastes good. you know, I made them for you. Thank you, Bonbon. Calling them Bonbon again, by the way. You're welcome. Bonnie smiles brightly. This game might have one of the best cast interactions I've ever seen in a video game. It is insane to me, the very grounded and real but also very highly emotional moments. Everything feels so impactful, even the smallest thing. Calling the character Bonbon meant a lot to me. Calling them Bonbon. There's no way I'm not having those conversations. we're ready as we're ever gonna be, honestly. Because this time around we want to ask some questions, right? That's what we came to do. So it's gonna be a different situation than we think. Somewhat, anyway. We don't know what could happen. And we can fast forward to this as well. But not this. Do you remember? I remember you. Is that so? We shall fight, and we shall see which side the universe favors. Here we go. Yeah, it's so interesting now. The answers change again. I remember you, right? Zone out for this part? Yes, I would say so, right? You've heard this before. Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to do that this time, especially for the pacing as well. You finally managed to beat him last time, but you still have so many questions. Why is he freezing for garden time? Does he have power to do anything to do with the time loops you're stuck in? Because that's the thing, we keep asking, he keeps saying the thing like, do you remember? And we're saying, I remember you. The answer kind of changes every time. If you ask him something, will he answer? You can ask the king questions by going to the craft menu. The things I let you do, Stardust, I swear. So if you go to the craft menu, we can ask a question. Ask the king, what's your goal? Yeah. My goal. Sif, does it matter? It doesn't. Your reasons don't matter at all. But they might. We still have to ask this question, though. They don't have that mindset that we have right now, you know? Why do you want to freeze Vigard in time? Siffrin?
Oh, can't you guess? Can't you tell? Oh, stars. I thought my intentions were clear, but no one seems to understand.
We don't know. We don't understand you. Why would you want to make an entire country suffer and expect everyone to be okay with it? There must be a reason. Why would you freeze Vagard in time? And only Vagard for that matter. That's true. No other country's been attacked. With power like yours, you could freeze more than just Vagard. But you stopped at the borders. Other countries are safe. Why? That's such an interesting question as well, right? Because Vagard is perfect? And they want to freeze everything as perfect as can be? Perfect?
Such welcoming, creative people. Oh my god, always willing to welcome travelers in. Even when even travelers with no name. No home to speak of. Such precious memories. It is perfect. I do not want it to change. I want it to stay exactly how it is. So it cannot ever be destroyed.
That's so what backwards thing is. So they're saying because they love the place so much, they want it to stay in the exact way it is now. But they think it's going to be destroyed. Do they think that? I don't know about what about Vagard made it perfect for you, but you cannot stop us from living. Ask the king. Are you the one doing this to me? Oh my god. With the time loop
doing this.
Stars, you don't want to explain it in front of everyone. But the king, he could be the one trapping you in time. The one imprisoning me here. Huh? Imprisoning you? What does everyone think? Whatever is happening to you, I am not the one responsible, bright one.
But that scent around you, could it be?
Wait, no, tell me! It doesn't matter, tell me! He doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Please tell me what scent you smell. So the king isn't the one responsible for the loops? Isn't that weird? You're looping through time, he's freezing it. Aren't you using the same power? Exactly. Power over time? Ask the king, how are you freezing people in time? Sif, could have told you that one if you asked. It's timecraft, buddy. Timecraft, you've heard this before. Timecraft. The ability to craft time itself. But timecraft is supposed to be impossible to control. How can you use it yet alone do it at such a grand scale?
If the bright one isn't bright enough to know the timecraft, they will not be bright enough to understand how.
Wow. So if you're asking this question, then you don't deserve an answer because you won't know what the answer is? Oh my god, Body, don't be defreed. Shut up. I love Body so much. Timecraft. That's something to look into, isn't it? Either way, it doesn't seem like he's the one trapping you here. Since you're here, you might be worth it to beat the king now so you can talk to the head housemaid 100%. She said something before about how you're looping, about how something's being broken. She knew something. After that, you have to find more information about the timecraft somewhere. I can always go back and fight the king if you have anything else to talk about. So they're saying we can go back and fight the king many times. Ask the king. Nothing to ask. So they're saying, the king is basically saying that they want to freezing people in time because they believe that this place is perfect, right? That's the first thing that they said. 100%. Where are we going here as well? Make up time. They're also saying that if we don't know about timecraft now, then we won't be able to comprehend it even if they say something. So they don't want to say anything there as well. Is this it? Yeah, this is it, isn't it? So they don't want to say anything because we won't be able to even comprehend it that time too. And they're also saying that there's a scent of us of something on us that shows us that we are from, I guess, the how do I say it? That there's something that he recognizes about us, but he's not the one doing this. Which I never kind of thought that he was the one doing this, but like, you know, it's important to know, I suppose, as well. You know what I mean? It's definitely important to know. I think so anyway. Paper AV. Some weakness there as well. Not a crazy amount of damage though, but still. Especially with the boost that we have here. Go on, Bonnie.
Oh. The Just time, saviors.
And this is the move that they usually do, but this time we're gonna be fine. We survived it. Everyone okay? I can't believe like, Siffrin said that in front of everyone as nobody had. Well, like Siffrin had to. You're still here.
Good. Let us fight to the death then.
Like what else? What else could you say? Like you have to find out the truth. I know we already have our attack boosted, but still, topping off is never a bad idea. I find. Now we're gonna get that ultimate attack as well. Zone out for this part? Sure as well. You've heard this before. Oh, when he's crying, you don't have the right to cry. The king doesn't answer. Again, it's this weird thing of like, Siffrin obviously doesn't, it's not this thing where Siffrin's like, I love the king or anything like that, but for everyone else's perception, like asking those questions, like why would you even want to ask those questions? Why do we care about how they feel about this? When the reality is Siffrin is just trying to like get to the bottom of the situation that they're in, but again, from other people's perspective, they don't know this, right? At all. Which makes sense why they would kind of be like, why are we even asking these questions? You don't want to fight anymore with the attack down. I love that it's talking about like the will of yourself, right? And that's what it manifests like that. The king cries. Speed us up a little bit for sure. We need 2 more turns for this. So we might as well do... We have a defense boost already. Lower the attack. I love that you can debuff boss battles, by the way. It's really cool. Oh, perfect. This would be really good for us. Lovely stuff. You want to fight more? There's the attack gone down again. But just in case, lower the attack as well. And actually getting to do some scissor attacks here as well, I guess. Thank you, Bonnie. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. Buff that up. Buff that up. But the attack is still low, though, right? Here we go. We're going to get that ultimate attack in, this time with scissors. Lovely bit of damage there as well, isn't it? Super, no one needs healing right now. Pretty buffy friend. Go back to the palm strikes. Yes, you have heard this before. The attack is still lower. We have to buff their attack, it seems. But still, that's good damage. It is good damage. Paper 3. Pretty buffy friend. But they're probably going to lower our attack again as well. Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah. In some way, yeah, 100%. The king waits. Super Sparkle Heal. No one needs healing. Holy Care Shield. I don't think we need this right now, right? We don't. Let's just guard. Because we want that attack as well. And get the special attack out of this also. Yes, our attack is lower, but that's okay. The king is going to lower our attack anyway. Not a great amount of damage though, right? It never is. No one needs a buff. Turn it up maybe to... Come on. I'm okay with that. Again, no healing needed. I mean, you can attack anyway. Like it's not gonna do much for us, but still. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Because palm strikes are definitely the way to go still, right? We can't ask anything different, can we? No, we can't. I just wanted to check. 100% I wanted to check.
Oh. It's time, saviors.
We don't have the defense on. Oh, we didn't have the freaking defense on. Oh, I didn't even notice. The king got you again. You've forgotten the pain. But at least you can move a little. This time, that's my bad. Stars, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Oh my god, you try to speak. Bonnie, run away. This moment again, then the footsteps. Come on, you useless body. No, I forgot about the freaking ability again. I was so in the zone here as well. And so, before the king strikes you, let go. Man. Luckily we can start directly from here. But still, you know what I mean? Oh, it's been 1, 2, 3... 20th loop. 20. Is that a lot or too little still? Back to it. So do we have to ask those questions again as well? I wonder. I mean, it's okay though. Like, again, that was literally just my mistake. It was a very silly mistake. I should have been watching for that. 100%. But I guess we'll have to do a lot of the similar stuff we did before again, right? Yeah, and we can do this as well. It's not gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. We can do this. We can do this no problem. There's nothing about the boss battle that's actually like oh, okay, cool. You gain some experience too? Yes. Do we have to ask them questions again, or do we just, or we can just forget about that? I wonder. It should be okay. Yeah, I have to remember whenever we get a chance to put this on, we have to put it on. Yeah, okay, we asked these already. Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Actually, very good that they're not making us do that again, honestly. It's I mean it too. Like, that's a very fantastic quality of life thing, honestly. Boost all family members, by the way. That's great, isn't it? Boost all family members, especially with what Odile said. Slowing them down is important too. Let's start with I think a pretty buffy friend. No, Silent Burst. Then we can go for a turn it up and give it back to Odile. We'll do paper. Again, just trying to do that damage as best as possible. Just a smack. We could have lowered their defense as well, which would have been a good idea too, but yeah. Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, this is what we have to watch out for. Whenever we can use the cure, we use it. No matter what. Did I not use it? Not the cure. Did I not use it on everyone? Does it not work on everyone? That's interesting, right? I could have sworn I used it on... Again, sometimes, guys, my brain does be fried when I'm playing this then, you know, because there's so much stuff going at you at once. Interesting. I have to look back at what happened there. Maybe something canceled another thing out, maybe? Mega Sparkle here, Super Sparkle heal. Possibly. It could have been just a canceling out of something, honestly. And if that's the case, that's okay. Craft. Guard. This is going to help us out as well, just if we want to do some random attacks as well. Shakes off slow, by the way, so we have to make sure we're doing that as well. Mega Sparkle heal. Why not? I mean, this type of stuff helps out, like, in a lot of ways. So I guess we could do a, So now for this part, and this is one with the crying, isn't it? Artsy Silent Burst. Craft. We can't do slow just yet. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Yeah, and you don't want to protect yourself anymore almost instantly. Honestly, yeah, for these tiers, right? Healing our healer is always going to be something I'm okay with. 100%. Right? Yeah. That makes sense. We have to slow them down too. We have to. Okay, so... It's a weird bunch of movesets we have here, but we'll eventually get to like a, an all, like what we're looking for, I guess. But she has to heal herself up, of course. That's 3 of those there as well. There's a regular paper attack as well. We're trying to get that big paper boost as well. Again, they're going to lower our attack almost right away. Definitely needed it somewhat there as well. Good damage also at the same time. Mega Sparkle heal? Yep, 100%. Your turn. We need 2 more, just the last 2 more turns with this. And there we go. Hopefully get rid of the tears. So now for this part as well. Hopefully, yeah, we need 2 more turns before we can use the shield again. That's making me very nervous. But the more we get past the turnaround, right? The more we can maybe just do this. Like if we pass the turn again, does that count as 2 turns? Your turn is not going to work there. Craft. Wait, how are we supposed to block it? We didn't have enough time to do this, no? How do we do that then? That's so, like, what the hell? I can't. Just run, Boniface. Do not worry, I will give the young one time. That's the best you can do. Stars, it hurts, it hurts. How does that work? King, what am I supposed to remember? Bright One, as you lay there dying, what do you see? Not the ceiling? You hear Isabeau laugh tiredly. Hearing it, you laugh too. So we made a joke and Isabeau laughed as well. So even death will not bring it back. What are you talking about? I knew this. I knew this, and yet the king strikes. The king killed you. How does this work? Should I be... You're back. You remember Isabeau's face as he died? He was scared, more than scared. He was terrified, but he was looking right at you like he wanted to take your pain away. Oh, Isabeau, taking the pain away isn't his job anymore. Back to it. Wait, what? How does this work, though? I thought, like, because I know the shield is what protects us from it, but we didn't have enough time to do the shield. The same thing happened to me again. I'm wondering if this is story based or something. Here again, but no, it's the same thing as last time. I wonder what's happening here because we didn't have problems with it the first time, right? Could you kill me first? I'd appreciate it. Of course, Bright One. May death bring it all back. What a sweet... Oh my god, Siffrin. No, see... Stop it, Siffrin. You feel the tug in your stomach already. We're gone, yeah. The king strikes. No idea what I'm doing wrong with the timing there. I think it's a specific time when they do it, so I'm going to try it one more time here and see if we can do it this time. You remember Mirabelle's face. Even faced with her own end, she was looking straight at the king, unbroken even then. The king must hate that every time. Back to it. And again, back to it. And especially us asking the king to kill us first. Such a horrible sequence. Man, I'm just not... the same thing happened again. This time it wasn't. It was just an attack, though. Yeah, it's the same thing as last time as well. Man, I feel like we handled this so fine the first time. I don't know what's happening with me this time around. There's probably something I'm forgetting or something. I thought we were more than fine the first time we did this. I feel very silly, like. I don't think they'll make us go through the this whole dungeon again, though, after we did it twice now. But yeah, so at least we have that. But she couldn't move facing away from you. It's always facing away from you. She can never move then, can she? She can't protect any of you. She can't protect herself. Can't even think about it. What face is she making during those final moments? And then we're thinking about this all the time, like the last moments of these characters. This will be my last attempt at this, then we'll come back in this next time, because I'm clearly missing something that I didn't do the first time, and I might have to look back up on my first time I played through this. Because I don't remember it being a problem the first time. There we go. Okay, I got this far. Your turn. Sounds like there's nothing else for me to add, huh? So all you need right now is to disappear. So I actually got this far. I have no idea what happened. I think it was probably just the timing of when I used the shield. Disappear. Disappear. We get to see this moment again. Disappear. It was definitely the timing of when I used the shield. Look at Mirabelle. Disappear. For sure it was the timing of when I used the shield. You attack the king with all you've got. Right? It had to have been the timing, because like I was able to do it that time. You all attacked the king as hard as you could. Mirabelle's attack brings the king to his knees. No, I can't. I can't disappear. Not yet. Not when I still can't say it. Still can't say it. That was tough for some reason this time around. I was in bits this time around trying to do that. But we did it in the end. And we can fast forward to this part here as well. You're happy to see them happy. We did it, Mirabelle. And we fast through this, yeah. So I'm going to end the episode here, and I'm sorry that's a very anticlimactic way to end it, because I'm like, I just beat the boss and then we're going to end it here. But I did spend quite a bit of time on the boss here, and I think that honestly my issue was with the boss, and I could be wrong. You guys let me know what the issue maybe could have been. Maybe I'm completely wrong about it. I think it was my timing. I think my timing when I used the move. The cure thing, you know, the thing that shields you from the attack. I think I just used it at the wrong time. I think there's actually a percentage of when the attack goes down when you're supposed to use it. And then when I got the timing right, for somehow it worked there as well then. Yeah, I think it definitely was just the timing. To talk about this episode, there's a lot that happened in this episode, honestly. And I honestly thought the boss battle there, we actually were like, that we actually have to like, die there, that we're supposed to die there. Now, we did get a lot of new information, but also like, it shows how much weight there is in these loops, by the way. Every time we died, we looked at someone else's face and saw what they saw when we were dying. And at one point, we even asked to die first so we couldn't see it. Like, how dark is that? We were asking to die first so we couldn't see it. Which is crazy. It's a crazy situation to even be in. And in this time, we saw that on full display here, like how horrible that can be. I feel like this episode, not only did we get to ask the king something, but we found out a lot about the group that we're with as well. And a lot about Siffrin. While we knew that this was going to bother Siffrin at some point, what's also been like in Siffrin's head is like, you know, the mental health aspects of this game, which is Siffrin trying to block out any thoughts of any happiness going forward, because obviously they probably experienced some sadness in their life, so they probably think that they either don't deserve happiness, or in their head they're thinking, like we said, if I wish for stuff good to happen, bad stuff will happen. That's a horrible way to think about it, but it's something that's like, I think a lot of people do deal with in different severities. It's like, if I talk about anything good that can happen in my life, then it won't happen, I'll jinx it. And then trying to slap themselves to kind of like get away from that idea as well. We also had the conversation with the whole crew there, and I think it was actually very important. I didn't think it would happen, but to have Siffrin outright say, I thought, are we not friends? You said we weren't friends, is a big important moment, because whilst just in Siffrin's mind, it seemed like Odile was maybe dismissive of them. Odile is their own person. And just like I said earlier, sometimes we think everything is, and it's our mind telling us this, as a slight against us sometimes, when in reality, Odile is totally in the right at, being a lot older than the rest of the crew to be like, I don't want to say that I am best friends with a preteen or some younger people as well, I guess. And that's their own prerogative. But I love how they explained that doesn't mean we can't be family. You know what I mean? And I think it is phrasing, and it's totally the right to not want to call themselves like friends, right? That's totally the right, but that doesn't make the relationship any less special as well. It was such an important moment for Siffrin to even feel like they were loved in any way, shape, or form. The rustle of the hair, the acknowledgement of their feelings, all this stuff. It definitely was so important for them. Mirabelle doing their hair is a connective thing. It's something you can do together that feels like someone's giving attention to you and taking care of you, while also listening to them talk as well is something that Siffrin actually loves as well, because it's like I don't even have to like talk myself. I can just listen to someone else talk and still feel very connected to someone. It's so important and I think in those moments everyone realized it. And yeah, Isabeau in their own way is like, I'm gonna force you to talk to me, but that is Isabeau in a lot of ways. That's what they do. It's the same thing with like the way Odile did it. I know I shouldn't touch you, but I wanted you to feel this connection in this moment. Mirabelle asking if they could do their hair, Siffrin's hair, and when Siffrin said yes, Mirabelle was so happy. Because obviously he doesn't say yes to this stuff very often, that it's like, I get to touch your hair, I get to like have that connection with you. And like I said, it is a very connective moment. And I think like anyone who, especially like, it's any gender now, that can do it as well. But like you can say anyone who does that with their friends or has done with their friends knows that it is like such a sweet moment. It is a very connective moment. And even Bonnie saying, I made this food for you. There's like this big moment in that campsite of like, everyone has done something, I guess, in a way, like showing their care for Siffrin. But even with that, it's very hard to, again, what we also have with seeing the forest from the trees, it's very hard to really get a notion of what's going on there in their lives. Siffrin also like applied a past loop to a current loop, which is also a very dangerous thing to start doing, because they don't know. And again, it made me feel so much anxiety, because even Odile was like, well, I would say that, but they didn't say it this time around. So this is something that is going to be horrible about Siffrin's journey and very lonely about Siffrin's journey. They have to carry the weight of every single thing everyone says every route, no matter what, while everyone else doesn't have to carry that weight at the same time. And that can be very, very difficult. And you saw the difficulties in this too. How everything, I think it changed once they said family, right? But also how friends changed to allies, now allies changed to family. That's a sign of things changing over the route, and how Siffrin carries stuff throughout the routes. Whatever happened en route, and look what happened. I died 4 times to the boss. And we have to carry with us forever seeing Odile's face, seeing Mirabelle's face, seeing Bonnie run off, seeing Isabeau's face. We have to carry that with, Siffrin has to carry that with them forever. And that's like the consequences of a time loop. They have to carry that with them, and that's such a horrible thing to think about. All the weight of the previous loops are on the shoulder of Siffrin, and they have to carry that with them forever. It's not a fresh start each time. It can seem that way, right? The idea of like, oh, every time we loop again, I get a fresh start. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. It's a fresh chance, but not a fresh start at all. The king was saying that, like, as well, that we're not ready to learn about the time loops yet, because if we don't understand it now, we won't comprehend it. Also, that whoever's doing this to us, they can smell their scent in some way upon us too. And the reason why the king is doing this is because they're saying that they want to freeze this beautiful place in time in one moment, so that it can be perfect forever. Which is such a dangerous prospect, because, like, again, as they said, it's backwards thinking in a way, because it's like, oh, because we're being punished because we're so welcoming and because we're so lovely. But I think we're going to find out more about that as time goes on as well. I really feel like this whole episode was really, like, about, Siffrin's journey here, their mental health, how I feel like everything is kind of hanging on for them, in my opinion, by a thread now. I think that whilst we have that support from everyone here, we still are going to have to loop again. And we're carrying all of that with us. Can you imagine in your life now, and I know it's a horrible thing to think about, can you imagine to yourself right now, carrying the weight of seeing all of your family, and this is I'm saying quote unquote family here, suffer right in front of you, to the point that you asked to be taken out first. Horrible. We also saw that the loops will also change things in other ways too, the way that we saw the loops will actually, Mirabel didn't break down this time because she had the support of for support of us. And that's something that we got in our head with as well, is like, are we will they think about us? Again, we thought about the two, like how the loops change stuff as well, not only with everyone feeling better about us, but also them not breaking down, them being more controlled, more calm, but also at the same time, like we have to look at it this way, right? In the back of Siffrin's mind now, it's like, did they not like me as much as this in the previous runs? There's so much goes into the thought process of these loops that it's actually quite horrible. While you have these beautiful moments, I feel like everything is underlined with like a bold feeling of sadness and like just a horrid feeling. I really feel like that's the way it is. And I feel like it's very natural for Siffrin to feel this way. As you said, at first they're going to feel like they can run through a brick wall, and now you can see all the effects that it's having on them. And if they're already someone, as we know this, doesn't like to be touched, thinks themselves into a corner all the time in terms of their anxiety and their feelings on their own mental health, already that is already a bad thing for them, and it's a horrible thing for them to think through. Now they have to deal with this time loop, and they have to deal with the fact that they carry everyone's life in their hands, but also they carry the memory of everyone in those loops with them also at the same time. I wonder if a question is going to come up again about how we asked, maybe not, because we're probably going to loop very soon as well, but if a question is going to come up again about the questions we asked the king about how we're imprisoned. I wonder. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching this series, and thanks so much for supporting this series. I'm having a great time with this game. I don't know how much more like looping and stuff we're going to do and going through different places and areas like this as well. But I hope that they get the pacing. I haven't played this game before, so I can only judge it based on my current playthrough. I hope that it's as fun to go through it as it was this time through. There's different changes and stuff like that the next time we do a loop, because I imagine we're probably gonna have to go into the dungeon again at some point. I hope that it's as fun as it was this time around, or at least as interesting. I should say. Fun is probably not the right word. Thanks so much to Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, Ghost of Mizuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish Adusta, Death Trap Links Markey, The Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Susan, Heck, Leon, Hike Asperian, Jared Beanham at the Heist, your mate, Roy, Number 7 in Blasco, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.